Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crypto News Podcast. You're buzzing as always. Lovely week and day in Buenos Aires to the Ethereum community folks, and I guess a lot of folks outside of the Ethereum community like myself who was at Dev Connect last week. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This is sort of becoming my second home. I love it here, and I hope you guys did as well. From what I saw on Twitter, everyone loved it. A lot of people are staying. I'm seeing tons of crypto folks still here a week after. So glad you guys had a good time. Now for the show, and this one's going to be an absolute banger. And probably one of the websites, if not the website I use the most in all of crypto. I can bet the house that it is the most visited website in all of crypto as well. Today we have the one and only Alice Liu on the show, research lead at CoinMarketCap, one of my favorite companies in the whole space. She's leveraging CMC's data and collaborating with industry leaders to bring unique insights to millions of users. She has great work, covers market events, innovation analysis, trending narratives, you name it, does it across not just, the big cryptos, but all of crypto. And prior to joining CMC, she worked as an investment professional at WisdomeTree, Coutts, and J.P.Morgan. What a bio. Alice, welcome to the show. Pumped to have you on. How you doing this lovely evening in Dubai for you?
Hi, thanks, Matt. Great to be on here. Thanks for having me. I'm doing great. I'm happy to see the market finally bouncing back slightly. It's been a very crazy past 6 weeks for us, but right now I think things are steadying down a little bit, so I'm feeling great.
I love it. This is going to be a super fun episode because we haven't done this in quite some time. Normally we have a guest on who, works for a company that isn't sort of the biggest price aggregator in all of our industry. So this is going to be a treat because we can talk about not only the market as a whole, but some of the, native instruments to CMC, like the Fear and Greed Index, which I love. We can talk about, of course, the new baskets that you guys have integrated as well. But let's start out with just an overall blanket thought dump on the current industry. Guys, we are recording on Tuesday, November 25th. This episode is going to air hot and fresh 2 days later on Thursday, November 27th. So I believe everything, mind you, it is crypto. Hopefully everything will be extremely relevant and timely in that regard. But Alice, we just had 50 days ago, 10/10, biggest liquidity event in the history of crypto. It was an absolute shit show. Last week and the week before, 2 more shit shows. Everyone's scared right now. The Fear and Greed Index says so. Give me your overall market dump. What is going on in crypto land right now?
Yeah, sure. As we speak right now, the total crypto market cap is still below 3 trillion at 2.97. And we haven't seen this level since May this year. May. This is how bad it's gone for us for the past 6 months. And to be honest, BTC as we speak right now is 86.7K. It did drop as low as 80K earlier last week. I think people were getting a bit worried. And generally speaking, across the board, liquidity is drying up a little bit, 150 billion USD for the past 24 hours and steadying around that level. BTC dominance, 58%. So we're seeing that slightly sort of flattening out a little bit. And the CMC Fear and Greed Index, you are right. We are at 15 out of 100. Extreme panic in the market. It did go down as low as 10. That's the lowest ever on record since we launched the index in 2023. So this is how bad the market has gone. But for me personally, the most fresh, up-to-date sentiment in the market is that we're seeing that V-shaped recovery a little bit. Things are steadying down. We can predict that this is pretty much bottomed out at this point. There are a few challenges coming up in December. We can discuss all of those in details as well.
Okay. I love that. Great way to start the show. I want to talk about 10/10 and I guess, 50 days later, give or take, Tuesday, November 25th, when we record. A lot of people aren't completely sure about what exactly happened on 10/10 and the implications and then the drawdowns and sort of the pushback. Everyone was like, oh, a big market maker got liquidated, a big trading firm, whether it was trading firm XYZ got liquidated. No one really still knows what happened. What's your 2 cents on that? Do you think that we are now experiencing the network effects? Is this macro? Is this all money is getting siphoned out of crypto and going to the AI infra play? Like, why are we dropping right now?
Yeah. So since the 10/11 liquidation, the market has taken a shift, and there has been a few things happened for the past 6 weeks or so. 3 points. Number one is the liquidation has cleared out the leverage across the market with the historical biggest liquidation in crypto history after 10/11. I think the market now has cleared up a lot of the leverage. And number two, liquidity. What we are seeing is a drying up of liquidity in the market at the moment. So the worry of AI bubble last week across Wall Street, equity investors were really looking closely at how the AI related companies are performing. Nvidia's report saved everyone. We were on the verge of a equity sell-off, but that has stopped the show. The only thing about crypto right now is the liquidity is so thin. So BTC did bounce back on the bullish news of Nvidia report, but people use that as exit opportunity. So what we saw was that the market quickly reacted to it and people pulled out, and then we started to see the drop again. That is one of the main reasons for the past 3-4 days or so, we're seeing the continuous dip since the Nvidia report. So if you guys are wondering what is happening, why all these good signals and no pumping, this is one of the reasons, right? So those are the two major reasons, shifts in the market. Number 3, which is the whale activity signals post 10-11.
Super weird.
It's
Here,
really odd.
you know?
Yeah. So one thing really changed the dynamics post the 11th of October thing, which is the wallet ending 3 AE, together with a few other, for example, one of the top BTC holder, Giant Whale, cashed out $1.3 billion worth of BTC. That wallet has been like sell for 8 years and did that recently, as well as all this massive supposedly insider wallets that were betting short on the market, and then later it just crashed the confidence in the market. In a sense, people were previously viewing that transparently on Hyperliquid, but now no longer have that access. Together with that and the whale activities, we are seeing a split. This is the most recent for the past 2 days or so. We are seeing a split in whale activities even within that category. There seems to be a very long bet on 20K BTC at the moment level at the moment. 200,000 USD BTC at the moment. At the same time, some whales keep on shorting. So we don't actually know, even within the whale group, like they cannot agree on one thing at the moment. That is the observation on my side. If you have anything else to add, please let us know, because I agree with you. Whale activities, they're really odd at the moment.
Super weird. I mean, we've heard some, and I'm not a tin hat conspiracy dude by any means, Alice, but I've heard about, the Asian electricity has gone through the roof, or at least Chinese electricity has gone through the roof. Supposedly they have a quantum computer. They're selling off the old untouched Bitcoin wallets. I personally think that's fugazi. I just think a lot of sort of, at least my 2 cents on it is, we're going to need another catalyst or event to heighten the value prop for Bitcoin and all of crypto. I'm biased. I love Hyperliquid. I even think a couple of the L1s still have legs left, but I do think that 99.9% of coins are extremely overvalued, aren't really making revenue. They're ghost chains. So that I get. But when it comes to Bitcoin, our number one meme and the leader, the god of crypto, we had the ETFs, everything we sort of dreamed about, the convergence of TradFi crypto, the ETFs, the crazy liquidity coming in, nation states adopting it. We've got all that. So for me, the next thing is like, what else do we need to get to that next level? And I don't see anything in plain sight.
Confidence is very important. And when the market is like this, it's very hard to build up that confidence. And you're right. I understand why some wallets have pulled out in this downturn, because for the 4-year halving cycle, some people, if they still believe in that, this is their exit opportunity. So some people would still following that 4-year halving cycle and then make their decision from there. But at the same time, to add to your point, yes, ETFs, they're out there for a long time. We did see amazing inflows driving the price up, but recently we saw significant outflows. November alone, US ETFs, BTC side, they pulled $4 billion USD worth of asset out. And Citibank, they released a report yesterday on this saying for every 1 billion outflows of ETFs on BTC side, it's 3.4% of spot price actions drop. So 1 billion outflows equivalent to 3.4% of price reactions there. That is explaining some of the 80,000 levels that we were seeing last week. But at the same time, because I came from TradFi background with deep background in ETFs, I understand this, that end of the year, institutions, they rebalance their portfolios, right? So it's very hard for them to actually go in with big amount of money at the end of the year be like, I'm gonna buy the dip. No, that's not how they works. That's not how it works for them. They have risk frameworks, they have their investment strategies. So my thinking here is, I agree with you. End of the year, I don't see much of a reversal for us. If anything, we potentially could get some interest rate indications earlier December, but no one knows, and it's not going to be material driving the market. My consideration here, coming into January, when Fed have another post of the economic data, then they would start to look at the interest rate decisions there. And then February is the time when the institutions reposition their portfolio for this interest rate decisions as well as new liquidity into the market. That is when we're going to have the bounce back again. Definitely, I don't see an all-time high again this year, but potentially in February next year, we could have another all-time high.
I love it. So positivity. I absolutely love it. Couple more things on the market, and then I'd love to get into CoinMarketCap as a whole CMC. Any coins I have CMC up right now. I think it's maybe I'm wrong here, but I do think that's a bit of a new update with CMC20 being above Bitcoin, and we'll get into that in a hot sec. But any coins that stand out to you present day, as I look on the chart right now, unfortunately, it's pretty red across the board. Only a couple being up on the week, Bitcoin Cash being one of them, up just under 5%. World Liberty Financial, everything else is pretty much a stable coin with, the only green on the board. Do any coins and charts get you going present day, Alice?
Yeah, there's still some hope even within a market like this. I look at CoinMarketCap altcoin season index. Right now, let me double check the value right now. It's 23 out of 100. So we're definitely still very deep in the BTC season. But if I click on that chart, give the breakdown for the past 90 days, the number one best performer is Aster, up 12.5x, and then followed by Zcash, up about 11x. M token up 3.4x, Dash, MYX, Trust Wallet, Monero, etc. are all on the list. So we don't have like a full-on altcoin season, but there are still very impressive performances within this market for us to capture. I can talk a little bit about privacy as a theme as well, but before that, because you also mentioned Hyperliquid, now seeing the price momentum of Aster going to 2026, especially right now when everything is like on Black Friday sales, it is great opportunity for us to capture some of the quality projects and tokens, to be honest. And Perpdexes is one of the key themes I'm betting on in 2026. So I think it's a great market for some of these quality categories and topics.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Again, I'm biased to love Hyperliquid, but no other coin prints $3 million a day. I think it's still very, very undervalued. And the revenue meta is in. One last thing before we do a quick ad read. Privacy meta absolutely blew up. I, of course, like anything else in life, woulda, coulda, shoulda. This first came on my radar in probably July, I think it was, when I first really started checking out Zcash. I want to say at the, I think it was 70, 80, maybe 90, regardless. I didn't pull the trigger till late September, early October. Still did well, still thankful. However, is this here to stay? Is this, we should really be concerned about our privacy, and this is one of the few tools and financial instruments that gives us privacy, or is this just Mert, Naval, and the timeline pumping their bags for exit liquidity?
I have so many things to say about this, but I'll summarize it in 3 points. Number one is, let's talk about quantum computing and all that privacy stuff, because what is happening right now is the market is so starved of narratives. Anything that have a bit of spark takes off, and that is why one of the main things. But because CMC, we do have about 900 million page views a month, so we monitor the traffic on what people are looking at, what they're discussing, talking about. So we saw the trend of privacy taking off in a market that is really muted for the other narratives. So I think that's one of the reasons for the proportional growth that we saw recently. Number two is, I have to say, the likes of Arthur Hayes, etc., some of the BTC core devs and K influencing voices, there seems to be a continuous collaboration of push on privacy as a theme, and together with now the challenging of the quantum computing, how that's going to throw BTC out of the window, etc. That seems to be, for me, a collective push. So it's been here for a few weeks, if not 2 months now. So I started to see the steam of that sort of coming down a little bit. when it comes to privacy tokens, it's very much narratives driven. I would say join the trend if you can, but remember to get out before the party stuff ends. That don't be the last one there. That would be my point.
Well said. Don't be holding the bags, as always. Words of wisdom. Okay, quick ad read, and then we're going to get right into CMC. Huge shout out to Prime XBT, longtime friends and longtime sponsors of the Crypto News podcast. We love the team at Prime XBT as they offer a robust trading system for both beginners and professional traders. Doesn't matter if you're a rookie or a vet, you can easily design and customize your layouts and widgets to best fit your trading style. Prime XBT is also running an exclusive promo for listeners of the Crypto News pod. Use the promo code CryptoNews50. That's CryptoNews50, CryptoNews50, all one word, to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading accounts. And now back to the show with Alice. Okay, CMC, one of my favorite products in all of crypto. I think this is pretty unanimous. Like normally there's obviously really, I don't know anyone who uses anything besides CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko for what you guys do. I'm CMC maxi now. When I first got into the space, I did use CoinGecko, as a couple of the guys who onboarded me use CoinGecko, and now I'm a CMC guy and I onboard my friends to CMC. So big fan of the project, big fan of the product. I want to talk about the CMC20 Index. This is super interesting to me. I forget the name of the company. What a terrible host I am. I forget the name of the company back in 20.
Oh, no,
it was another company in 2021 who was doing this, but it was for TradFi. So it was like you sent them money, you sent them fiat, and then they would invest in the different baskets. But it wasn't a top 20. It was, you can invest in DeFi, you can invest in not privacy, but NFTs, you can invest in whatever. They sort of did ETFs before ETFs, much smaller volume. I'd love that. I always understood why no one does that. I still don't understand why there's not a full basket in public markets. It makes no sense to me. I think that's something that a lot of people would like, but we have it now for crypto. Walk me through it. How did the whole thing happen? Circulating supply present day is super low on it. Seems like a great time to get in. What was the inspo for the CMC20?
Yeah, sure. That was really awesome intro, by the way. I really appreciate you understand this product, and that's awesome. So CMC20 as a first ever tradable DeFi enabled index token, and that covers the full market. The idea is very simple. S&P 500 equivalent for crypto. This one token, when user buys, let's say $100 worth of it, the DeFi protocol called Reserve use that 100 to buy the 20 underlying assets based on the index on BNB chain, and then redeem a CMC20 in return. So it is 100% backed by physical underlying assets, and it is market cap weighted like S&P 500, and it tracks the top 20 largest coins on CMC, excluding stable coins and tokens with limited investability. The idea is very simple, because we were approached by users and clients, be like, hey, can you guys launch an index for us that we can use to either buy as like a buy and hold building block to get exposure to crypto, or use as blending it into some sophisticated hedge fund strategies. So hence we gone ahead and built this. When we started to build the index, we tested the entire market, top 50, top 100, top 10, and we landed on top 20 to give the best performance and the best exposure in the market with adjusted volatility and risk. So it is really built with the tradability in mind. And especially, with CMC, we are trusted for our data. Hence, we want to make the data not just information, but something actionable for you to capture as well. That is the beginning of this. We launched a token, which was deployed by Lista DAO, built on Reserve protocol on the 17th of November. It was launched at the deepest of the bear market, to be honest. And even despite that, for the past 7 days, we've seen the TVL growth of about 5.2 million USD. And we are getting this listed across the different centralized exchanges, DEXs. You can buy this on Pancake at the moment, and a few other platforms and wallets as well.
I love that. And again, super easy to buy. Have you heard of any rumblings about a TradFi institution, one of the ETF providers, launching a sort of basket? Because that's something that it's still probably too much risk, perhaps too much regulatory, but I don't know why no one's done that yet.
Yeah, so there are a few things. Of course, there will be ETF version of this, but they are getting listed on New York Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange for TradFi users to do. For CMC20, the equivalent of that would be a DAT, digital asset treasury company. So that could be one of the options. But the difference here is the beauty of DeFi. And this is what I mean by why we worked with Reserve for a token like this. Because for CMC20 token, it's deployed by Lista DAO, and Lista DAO is known for BNB fi. So in the future, users can do, lending on it, yield on it. So it's a lot more sophisticated in terms of the DeFi utilities. And if you launch, as you said, in 2021, there are providers like this where I take your money, I give you a token, I buy this basket of tokens for you, but it's not directly linked. So you don't know if they actually hold those tokens for you or not. And this one is transparent, on-chain. You can check. It is sold. It's DeFi. You guys understand this. So it's not considered as security. That means it's listed across the different exchanges. And when you think of the targeted client group for this, who would need something like this, right? Firstly, we hope to create something like this for people who do not necessarily follow crypto that closely as much as we do. And you don't know.
Onboarding new folks.
Yeah, exactly.
This is perfect for onboarding. Yeah, for new folks.
Yeah.
100%.
So you don't want to just buy BTC or Ether or having to rotate in and out all the time. This one does it for you. Whatever is trending, for example, when Zcash was pumping, it made it into the index. And as it pumps, the weight of it goes up. Same as Hyperliquid, same as a lot of the other tokens. So whatever is growing in the market, this index captures it. And the second thing, part of the people who would benefit the most is actually institutions, family offices, buy and hold this. Hedge funds, they are the ones approach us saying, I need an index to blend into my strategy, so I don't need to use BTC as proxy. When BNB is pumping, I don't want to miss out on that. So this is one way for them to blend into sophisticated hedge fund strategies as well.
I love it. We're getting a little tight for time. A couple more questions and then we'll wrap up. I want to go back to the Fear and Greed Index. A couple of points just in the show notes that were really, really good. And I feel like everyone knows what the CMC Fear and Greed Index is. You already sort of explained it as well, but it hit a record low of 10, which is absurd. I've never seen it that low. On November 22nd, we're currently sitting at 15. And as per the notes, the index has never stayed below 15 for more than 7 days. And this correction followed the same pattern. That's pretty wild. Is there a reason why it doesn't stay below 15 for a couple of days? Does everyone just think, oh, things are on sale? Like you said, it's Black Friday. What's the sauce behind this?
Yeah. Okay. I'll explain this with plain language so everyone can understand. This is not just based on July 2023 up-to-date data. This is based on the back test of the past 5 years. 5 years of this index. We never stay below 15 for more than 7 days. And the reason for that, use this time as example, whoever would have got out of the market have gone out of the market. As simple as that. And there is a reason for that because when by the way, the CMC Crypto Fear and Greed Index, there are generally two versions of Fear and Greed in the market for crypto. One is the Bitcoin Fear and Greed, which you see on a few other platforms, but CMC one tracks more than just BTC. We track the top 10 largest cryptocurrencies, and that's looking at their price momentum, trade volume, volatility, options market, short, long, short ratio, on-chain statistics, as well as CMC proprietary data on the page views, community comments, and engagement. So it's fairly accurate, and it never stays below 15 for more than 7. And this time it's the same. So we started to see the V-shaped recovery in terms of market sentiment. Now, coming back to the very beginning of what I said, HSBC analyst, they are commenting on the current market sentiment, saying that if you want to add risk portfolios, if you want to add risk assets, now it's a time to do that, which feels counterintuitive. Why? Because S&P 500 is only 5% below all-time high, but the market for the past 2 weeks have shaken off a lot of the leverage, and a lot of the sentiment have now gone to oversold type of territories. So you need to position your portfolio future-proof. That means we know interest rate lower adjustment is coming.
Yes.
We know liquidity injection is coming. And with that incoming into the market, you need to position your portfolio not for December, but for January and February time.
I love it. What an episode. Anything else before we wrap up? Any other market thoughts? Any other CMC20 things? Anything of the like?
Yeah, so my general feel of the market is I look at this. I think market macro determines the direction of the markets. The flow, which means ETF flow and on-chain capital flow, that tracks the speed of that going to that direction. And some of the wheel activities and on-chain movements that determines how sustainable that speed is. So those are the three ways I look at the market. And based on my analysis right now, I think we have pretty much bottomed out at this point. December, we might have another additional sell pressure adjustment from the institution side on ETF for just purely for portfolio management. January time, that's when the macro condition is going to change. And February, we still have a very high hope of another all-time high. And that is roughly my thinking of the markets. And based on CMC right now, I'm really happy to hear what you said, Matt, in terms of how you're using CMC these days. We really try to show everyone not just data, but help make sense of what is going on in the market. So the tools like Fear Greed Index, Altcoin Season Index, market cycle indicators, CMC20, we have community topics, and very soon we're going to have very sophisticated AI analysis tools to help you not just look at the data, but make it actionable. And given a bear market situation like this right now, I do feel it's a great time to buy some quality projects. It's also a great time to park your capital if you don't know what to do into an index like CMC20 and just wait for the bull market to turn around.
I love it. Thanks again for coming on and dropping fire left, right, and center. Before we let you go, can you please let everyone know where they can find you personally and, of course, CMC online and on socials?
Yeah, sure. So for CoinMarketCap, I have a weekly podcast as well. So you can follow me on CoinMarketCap under CMC Alice. And also on Twitter, my handle is at AliceCrypto3. I've been getting feedbacks on that. So sounding a bit crazy. I'm going to change the handle if I can.
I love it. Folks, what an episode with Alice Lee, research lead at CoinMarketCap. Huge shout out to Alice and the team for making this happen. If you guys enjoyed this one, I hope you did. Please do subscribe, hammer that like button as well if you're watching on YouTube. And we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. To my team, appreciate you as always. And back to the listeners, keep on growing those bags and keep on staying happy, wealthy, and healthy. Love you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Ciao.